Here's Governor Bashir on MS Now. I said MS Now. I do not need to put $40,000 in the swear jar. Critiquing the president's speech. And this is a very similar message to what you heard from others. Governor Bashir, number 108.
But I tell you
please.
what, if Donald Trump wants to say that affordability is a hoax, if he wants to say that the economy is perfect, I hope he goes to every battleground state, every major campaign that we've got a gubernatorial contest in next year, and he brings that big tariff board, because people know it's not true. People know he's made life harder on them. And if he wants to get out there and be that out of touch with reality, I hope he'll do it.
Okay. So, Kristen, let's play act a little bit. You're Susie Wiles, and the president walks into your office now, and he says, "Hey, Kristen, I didn't have time to sample the coverage. How'd we do?" What would you tell the president? And what if he said, "Sorry, I'm revising and extending. How'd we do, and what can we do better?" What would you tell him?
Well, we had headlines wall to wall. Everyone's talking about it today. So great work. Everyone's talking about the speech today. No one's talking about the special elections in Miami or Georgia last night. We're all talking about the economy. That's great. Maybe, next time, let's just make sure we don't say the word hoax. We don't need it. Not good to the message. But overall, brilliant evening. They loved you. The coverage is great. Excellent work.
All right, that's excellent. And if he says hoax, of course, now he does it in a very meta way. He says, "They tell me not to say hoax, but I'm still going to say it." Jaime, the president uh, is going to do what he's going to do. So
Yeah.
my question to you is, how do you feel your party did in responding, not just Governor Bashir, but overall?
Yeah, look, we talked about this a little bit last week on the bracketing. I thought the Pennsylvania Democrats did a fantastic job of bracketing the president. I mean, one, what we would call this an unclean story, because we're talking about everything but the president and his message directly. We talked about Governor Shapiro 4 times already this morning, and that's the intent of bracketing. And so
Yeah.
Governor Shapiro put out some really scathing statements and did some press ahead of the president's visit. He did not meet him on the tarmac like Gavin Newsom did during the wildfires. But the governor said is, look, you may say whatever you want to say today in this speech, but the reality is people are hurting, and people are hurting because, and that for some reason, this president can't admit things that are true. Costs are high. No one's necessarily blaming the president right now. He still has a lot of time to take credit for fixing the economy and getting costs up and getting costs down and wages up. But he won't admit that it is a problem. And so Governor Shapiro hit right at that. And he had some backup from the mayor of Philadelphia. He had some backup from Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. And so it was a great day for bracketing for the Democrats of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the sub theme of Governor Shapiro trying to show he can run Pennsylvania politics really well as a calling card. I totally agree, Hamid. They did a very good, very professional job. The how do I phrase this? The president is undisciplined, and nobody expected it. We talked yesterday about how long it would be. It was as long as anybody could imagine. It was 90 minutes, and as always happens, he is as entertaining as he can be. You could see it in the crowd. Robert's going to nod his head because he was there. The crowd was not fully engaged through the full 90 minutes. It's just too long. Robert disagrees, maybe, I don't know. I just watching on TV. Now, here's the thing that I was watching for. He didn't offer anything new. There were no things saying, here's how we're going to go forward and address. Like, again, Kristen, is this not just 101? Like, say, here's what we're going to do on housing. Here's what we're going to do on energy. With some specificity, or is that not necessary?
I don't think it's necessary for a Trump rally, right? I mean, I've been to enough of these. I think they are a rallying event where people that, even the most ardent supporters tend to, if they have something to do, they're going to leave before the 97 minutes is up. It is a performance, right? So it's not necessarily a policy rollout. I think that the White House team and the advance team did a decent job of putting the message in the surrounding, higher paychecks, lower cost, I think is what it said. And so I don't think they needed to unveil anything new. I think now taking all of the focus on the speech, and that he's, every news organization is going to want to write that he's talking about it. Now maybe the White House can say, well, hey, we're also going to try this. This is new. Like, try to catapult off of the hook of the rally. I don't know necessarily if people would even pay attention if Trump had unveiled something new because it's a performance. I mean, that's why people
Yeah.
go to the rallies and they love him and they enjoy.
Uh,
And that's
I
what
agree.
he gets.
Jaime, just to be clear, I'm not saying he should have like long paragraphs about like the details, but why not just some bullet points of and maybe teeing up the State of the Union to say,
Yeah.
we're gonna. I mean, and maybe I'm wrong, but it just seemed to me if you're gonna call it a hoax, if you're gonna talk about people should have no more than $2, if you're gonna attack a member of Congress, if you're gonna do all this weave stuff,
Yeah.
you're gonna not get headlines that are specific. But if he had said, we're gonna make mortgages more affordable by doing X or whatever, I feel like that might have gotten coverage, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think it was actually a missed opportunity for the president to. I mean, when he ran for a second term, he talked about bringing costs down on day one. I mean, we all knew that that was not possible, but he said it. And I think we have the right as American people to hold this president accountable to what he said. He campaigned on it. He campaigned on costs being too high, costs of going up. I mean, while inflation is starting to wane a little bit, rent is not going to go down. Mortgages are not going to go down. And so I think we have to be honest with the American people and say we have a new economy we're trying to usher in. AI is going to be a big deal. Energy costs are going to rise, but the president is going to do everything he can to bring those costs down. And I think he's got to say every lever he can possibly pull to bring these costs down, he's going to do it. Now, what I do think the Republicans have that we did not have when Joe Biden was president, you guys know I love Joe Biden, but Joe Biden was never able to articulate a message on any day. And so, and Donald Trump's able to do that. And when he misses an opportunity like last night, it's sort of sad because he can really drive the message home in a way that we didn't have a president that was able to do. And so I kind of envy that, but I also, he didn't do it last night.
Well, I think the biggest thing, Trump's not on the ballot, right? So it was good for the drive to the people who are on the ballot. So like Congressman Bresnahan, that's his district, the mayor of Scranton, where they were, she's running against him. I think that's going to be a top, probably if not the top congressional race, one of the top 5 in the country. And I think that they now, both candidates, I didn't see the mayor of Scranton do anything to really make her case. If I were running her campaign, I would have had people out in front of the rally with news cameras, having them explain why they couldn't afford to buy Christmas gifts this year, or why they had to work a second shift on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I didn't see that from her. I saw a few tweets. So that was a missed opportunity from the Democrat candidate there. But likewise, I also didn't see the Republican incumbent. I don't even think he tweeted from his campaign account that he was there.
Right.
Yep.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.